Alright, let's see what's the scale of 1 to 100 looks like to you. In a paper, it looks like this. It's just an A4 paper. And I got a kind of a title block here. And maybe let's try to see the distance. This is starting from 1 to 3, which is 20 millimeter or 2 centimeter. Okay, and as a margin right there, I think it's 5. And also the thickness of the wall comes to be from it's a 2 millimeter. Okay, let's see that's which is 2 millimeter. Okay, so now let's see what's the definition or how can we achieve that. So we can measure the size of the object right in the paper. So in this video, let's try to see how to achieve these procedures, how to create the object using proper scale in AutoCAD. All right, so first let's get into AutoCAD. Already I have something right here. If your layout is so much empty, I'm gonna delete the model space and let me change the paper. Getting into page setup. Okay, this is the layout to modify it. I'm gonna pick up a PDF template and go for full bleed paper, which is in the portrait orientation, which is okay, totally okay. And I don't want to change anything here. I would like to be the scale 1 to 1. Even if I'm providing 1 to 100 on the model space, I like to pick it up as 1 to 1 right in the paper. Okay, enable these options here. Okay, that's okay. And so right now we are having a paper, but I've got a problem here. And the paper should be right in portrait orientation. Okay, that's it. Okay. Right now, let's try to get the layout or the margins, which is, you can see that's right here. Now let's try to bring up the margins. When trying to measure margin, it is 5 millimeter. Okay. And get into here, and if I trying to draw a rectangle, it's not possible to snap onto paper. So let's try to take a model view, hem view, and hit the enter key so we can have a border for this paper. So I can get into rectangle. Maybe width of 1 is far enough, and let's draw it right from here to here. So that margin is okay for now. And now we don't want to have the viewport, so let's get into drafting settings and turn on selection cycling. Okay, then I'd like to delete the viewport. Okay, so this is the external margin of the paper, which you can see right here. A part is right there. Now we want to have a margin offset is 5. So let's get into AutoCAD and offset it for 5. Offset it inside. Okay. Now I would like to have a title block here. So I don't know the size. So the size can be like 20. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is get into here. I like to have a polar line with starting point is here and width is okay, width is okay 1. Ending with this also 1. I'm gonna get into polar line, pick up the first point here, get into polar line. I like to go for tracking from here to here. This is 20 and hit double enter, and we can have a polar line, right? Okay, if you want to have the border, if you want to have the lines having thickness, you can give the thickness as provided for the same as that of rectangle, which is 1. So with starting and ending offset width is right 1, so I don't want to provide any more width here. So I got a line here. Now I like to divide it, maybe 5, I don't know, whatever be your title block. If you get into divide, and I like to set this line and maybe 5. I don't know, it depends on your title block. And I like to have the polar line here. Starting from the node. I'm not sure about this node here. Okay, from here to here, which is not quite compulsory. I can copy this, and from here to here, we can have a node snap right there. Okay, that's okay. Now you can fill up all this data, and now I'm going to delete all these points. You can fill up all this data just like as you see right here. Whatever be the case, it's okay. Now let's try to bring the object right into here. I will say that AutoCAD is quite unitless, but we can impose any sort of units here. But if I get into page setup, being AutoCAD is unitless, but here, right in this case, you can see that paper is loaded right in the size millimeter or inches. I got two sizes right here. So I will compel you to scale the objects right into millimeter. So now get into model. And if I get into here, if I try to check the size using measure geometry, I can see the size is 20 centimeter. Okay, so I like to scale it 10 times and make it 200, which is I have did here. Okay, if I try to measure the distance right from here, it is 200, which is 200 millimeters. You don't want to provide millimeters right here, but you have to scale your drawing right into millimeters. So the thickness of the wall should be right in hundreds. So maybe 200, 300, 400, whatever be your wall size. And that's okay. Now I like to bring up my model view, M view. And I like to pick up the first point is here and the second point is here. And okay, now I would like to get into the model space, and if I provide scale right from here as 1:100, you can see that the object is perfectly aligned. Now get into paper space. Alright, this is how we'll be plotting everything right in a 1:100 scale. So important point to consider, I have to draw everything right in millimeter, nothing more. If I try to take a printout, you can see that the whole size, this was 20 millimeter. The margin was 5 millimeter. If you count it right from this is 1 to 1.5, this is 5 millimeter. And the thickness of wall was 200, but it is scaled down into millimeter, which is 2 millimeter. 1:200. It is not 200, it is 0.2. Okay, this is 2 millimeter. Okay, what? How can you get it? Let's apply. Thickness of wall was 200 millimeter, and the current drawing scale is 1:100. So the actual length will be 2 millimeter. So you can measure it right from here, which is 2 millimeter. That's the whole case behind this. And if anyone is watching this video, thank you.